All right, I think we're good to start. I appreciate everybody hopping on this webinar today. Wanted to go over some of the new FTC Safeguards Rule that went into effect on the 19th of June. So I have Peyton from Red Sentry with me today. Peyton is head of strategic partnerships at Red Sentry. Peyton, say hello.
Hey, everyone.
So he's going to be here to just answer any questions that you guys have that are a little over my head. My name is Russ Reynolds. I am in charge of sales at FormPiper. So what I want to do today is really just go over what the FTC Safeguards Rule is and talk about how it's going to impact your business. And then we're going to talk about why the rule was actually created and who it applies to. And then what software and system requirements you have to be compliant. And then we're going to talk about what vulnerability scanning is, because that is one of the options that you can purchase to be compliant. And then how can we help and how to get started. So the FTC Safeguards Rule was implemented in 2021 under the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. The rule is a consumer protection regulation. It's designed to protect the personal and financial information of consumers. So it requires that certain businesses develop, implement, and maintain a comprehensive information security program to protect customer information. So really, the FTC doesn't normally get involved in the retail space unless it has to do with consumer protection. So that is the only reason they created this rule, and that it's reaching out to retailers is because it has to do with customer data. So non-compliance of this law can result in a fine from $26,000 to $100,000 per instance, which is not going to be good for the people that are hit with that fine. And why was the rule created? So if you guys follow what's going on in the tech world, cyber crime has been on the rise. As you've seen a significant increase in hacking techniques, data breaches, and ransomware attacks that are targeting companies with sensitive consumer data. So these incidents have led to an exposure of sensitive information, financial losses, and damage to the reputation of businesses and consumers. And the rule really is addressing the growing threat of cybercrime that I was just talking about. It's aiming to ensure that businesses are proactively assessing risks, implementing suitable safeguards, and monitoring and adapting security practices to safeguard customer information. So although the rise of hacking and ransomware attacks has definitely influenced the emphasis of data security, the Safeguards Rule was also driven by broader concerns regarding consumer privacy, regulatory compliance, and the modernization of financial regulations in the digital era. So a lot of things are different than they used to be. We're using technology to capture consumer data in ways that we weren't in the past. And so this is just creating more vulnerability for businesses and more areas that hackers can expose us and get into our systems and hold our data for ransom, which is the last thing anybody wants. So who does this rule apply to? The Safeguards Rule actually applies to a lot more than what you see right here. It does apply to retailers who extend credit to consumers. So furniture stores, pet stores, jewelry stores, elective medical and dental practices, really any businesses that offer consumer financing or financing in any way, shape, or form. So like mortgage companies as well. And what this is saying basically is that the FTC requires systems to be constantly monitored in order to protect the security of customer data. For information system, testing can be accomplished through continuous monitoring of your system. So that's what vulnerability scanning is. And we'll talk about that more in a second. There's also another option. So if you don't want to do vulnerability scanning, you can implement annual pen testing. And I believe you do this 2 times a year. And so pen testing essentially is having somebody try to hack your system. It's an ethical hacker or a good hacker going in and trying to hack your system to find any weaknesses that you may not realize you have. Peyton, did I sum that up well?
Yeah, absolutely. And all they're really saying there, and kind of like what needs to get done is having like a vulnerability scanner that's doing constant scans. So if there's any new type of risk that comes out, you could share that with your IT resource or IT department to be able to patch that up and fix it right away. And then that other option is the like actually having a hacker come in and perform a penetration test once a year, and then having a vulnerability scanner to run every 6 months a new vulnerability scan. And that's yeah, those would kind of be the two options here. I'm sure you'll get into it, but the pen test can be a little bit cumbersome on price. So I think everyone will enjoy the partnership we put together.
Yeah, awesome. And then that is a question we've gotten in previous webinars, because it talks about it here. The approach is way more expensive than vulnerability scanning. Do you mind just kind of giving us like an idea roughly of the difference in cost?
Yeah, sure. So, a penetration test could start anywhere from like 3,000 all the way up to like $20,000, depending on like the scope of the project and everything that needs to be tested. So, and that would just be like a one-time engagement, while there'll be some significant savings on the partnership we've kind of put together in your portal, Russ.
Okay, awesome. So I want to talk about what vulnerability scanning is, because this is so new to everybody. It's not something you wake up in the morning and think about. But vulnerability scanning is really like detective work for computers and networks. So just like detectives look for clues to find weaknesses in a case, vulnerability scanning looks for weaknesses in computer systems. It uses special software that scans or checks computers, your websites, and networks to find any openings or vulnerabilities that could be exploited by hackers. So essentially, this is like when you go to bed at night, you probably check all of your doors to make sure they're locked. I don't know if everybody checks their windows as well. That might be taking a little bit too far, but you definitely are checking to make sure you have your doors locked, just to make sure everything is secure. So when it does find a weakness, then it's going to let you know what that weakness is, and then you can fix it to make your systems more secure. Mm-hmm. And how can we help? So Peyton talked about this partnership that we put together. We worked really hard to make this happen to where we're able to offer a significant price discount for our customers and prospects. So depending on which route you go, it's going to be $100 a month per location, or it's going to be $250 a month for multi-locations connected to a single VPN. And this includes internal and external scanning, and I believe it also includes cloud scanning, correct, Peyton?
Yep. So it does the external, internal, and if you're hosting any of your data in the cloud, like Azure, Google Cloud, or AWS, we can run a scan on that to see if there's any vulnerabilities that can be patched there too, and that's included.
Awesome. And how to get started. So best way for me to show you if you are a FormPiper customer is for me to log in and just walk you through this. So you can come over here and we can go to our integrations on the left-hand side. What we're going to do is hit activate, and you're going to choose single or multi-store with VPN. Now, if you don't know which one to go with, you can reach out to me, or you can reach out to somebody on the FormPiper team, and we will help direct you in the right towards the right option. But let's just say I have a single store. I want to select this plan. Hit save. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come on here and we're going to choose our card. And if we want to pay up front for the year, there's actually even more of a discount. So you can see it's $1,000 if we paid up front for the year. We can turn that off, and then it's $100 a month. So just be cognizant of that. You might want the price savings in there, save $200 over the course of a year. But make sure you hit your card and then hit confirm. And from there, you will be activated. Your account will be activated, and you will receive a series of emails connecting you with Peyton, and he will help set up the rest of your account for you.
Yep, absolutely. And just to touch a bit on that, as soon as you're able to plug that in through the FormPiper integration page, you should be getting just an email from Red Sentry to be able to set up your password, and you can log in. We'll schedule that call, like Russ said, and get the rest of it set up. Doesn't take too long at all, and then from there you're good to go, and we'll have a full report of any findings that there was in the platform, and be able to provide that either to an IT resource in-house, or whoever handles kind of any one-off IT scenarios. And then sometimes it's even done in-house, but every week it'll scan. So as things are being fixed, you'll be able to see your progress score go up, and that security score right from there. So yeah, pretty simple.
Awesome. And if you are not a FormPiper customer and you want to sign up through our partnership, you can contact me, russ@formpiper.com, and I will help you get signed up. And we can also talk about starting with FormPiper as well. So and then if you have any questions that you didn't feel like asking on the webinar and you need to get those answered, we can help you get those answered too via email or phone call. So thank you so much. I appreciate everybody's time and hope to talk soon.